Researchers, please listen carefully. Test subjects have broken into the research center. Mr. Meiji commands you to leave your position and proceed to evacuation immediately. Let me repeat the announcement. I just received an emergency call. Did something happen?
Oh, there's one survivor left in the control room. Angelica, what you have been dreading the most seems to be happening in the end. It's an attack from the test subjects. The accumulation of stress and traumas have led to an excess of vital force.
What about the others?
Apart from the researchers, I evacuated myself and the one we are in communication with. I don't have further information at the moment. Closing the doors and setting up a barricade won't help since almost all of the test subjects have already entered the research center. I'm not unarmed either, but I'm afraid it won't stop them considering their current state.
We don't have time to overthink.
Are you implying that?
Can you think about any other solution, Meiji?
I don't, but
Even though we knew tragic incidents might happen, Ursha,
I can't access the control room right now.
I am aware of this situation. In the meantime, check if there are more survivors there.
I'll do that. Out.
I have a favor to ask. Since you are in the research room, you will find a button under the monitor. Pushing that button will kill all test subjects that broke into the research center. It's the only solution. I am sorry. Please do it. May God light our way.
That may be one small step for man, but...
One giant leap for mankind? Please spare me your quotations. Plus, it's already our second step.
Ursha.
Well, I would like you to stay focused. Today is an important day.
You're right. Today, we will make history. Not that we didn't make history already, since we are going to design a new humanity.
Every living creature must face death sooner or later. We all try to avoid that fate, avoiding death and preventing aging. These have been humans' aspirations since the dawn of time.
That goal has already been met in a sense. Eternal youth and immortality are already in our hands.
Is that what you think?
What do you mean?
I didn't mean anything.
Let's sum it up. Our investors have made their desire very clear. They want us to proceed with the second round of experimentations and share the results of Aglaia's researches. Some people might be interested in the human pathological aspect, while others would be interested in eternal youth and immortality. Of course, people already claimed that they have found revolutionary solutions to cure diseases in the past.
They all want something different. That's why they invested in the first place. The main motive, though, would be the pursuit of eternal youth and immortality.
We might have to make people kill each other again.
By people, do you mean test subjects? I wouldn't feel bad about it since they have won half immortality in the process.
You seem confident. You were also confident back then. Did you already forget what happened?
Talking about the past won't be of any help. All right, I'll have to admit that there are some parts I didn't think through. I'm sure you have taken safety measures this time, haven't you?
What if it ends up in another tragedy?
Why would you bring up something that has not even happened? Be reasonable. Don't be such a coward. Have you forgotten Aglaia's ideals?
Sometimes, I'm not sure if we have the same ideals anymore.
It's already my second warning. Please pull yourself together. There is no turning back. I'm more concerned about what we are going to tell the investors.
What do you have to say about that, Angelica?
Angelica, I wish you could listen to what Ursha has to say this time. Anyway, we need investors' money if we want to keep Aglaia on track.
All right.
What about the preparations on Lumia Island, Mr. Meiji? Since you're in charge, you should be aware of the situation.
It's almost done. Scenarios and instructions for critical situations have been gathered in a manual. and the control of test subjects have been improved with the feedback of the first experiment. The next step would be the beginning of the experiment. As you know, today's meeting was also aimed to carry final inspections.
Investors are expecting good news. Even if I am the face of Aglaia to them, I need your help on that matter. Well, let's wrap it up if there is nothing to add.
Do you have a minute, Meiji?
I'm all ears.
The first experiment. Do you remember why it failed?
Test subjects remembered everything. We brought them into the island and made them kill each other until there is only one survivor. We brought dead subjects back to life, but they didn't forget the pain they experienced when they died.
It drove them crazy.
Subjects that fell out of our control attacked the research center, and a lot of researchers died in the incident.
Ursha insisted that it was important to keep their memory intact.
She also said that keeping track and observing the test subjects' mental evolution was part of the experiment.
I always knew that erasing their memory was essential.
She didn't have a lot of sympathy for them. In the end, it was the best thing to do. The experiment should go smoother this time since Dr. E's words have less authority. From now on, test subjects' memory is directly transferred to the research center. It's managed from the outside.
The second experiment? I wish we had a little more time, though.
You know that postponing the experiment was not even an option. Don't forget that Maxime and I struggled to convince the investors.
I know there is nothing we can do, but...
There won't be any unexpected events. Everybody is aware that keeping control of the subjects is primordial. A defense system will be installed in the research center, and settings will be made in order to change the restricted area depending on the date.
Just focus on survival. You don't need to think about anything else.
Wrong ideas come up when people have too much freedom.
So, shall we start?
Everything is done to pursue Aglaia's ideals.
Great causes require sacrifices. Is that what you mean?
I certainly didn't live for as long as you did, Angelica, but I do understand that the world is result-driven. And I came to think that the end justifies the means, especially when we consider the goal we pursue. At least that's how I think after living on Lumia Island for that long.
When is the experiment planned exactly?
I'd be able to tell you more after final check-in settings. All I can tell for now is that it will happen soon. I'll ask them to send a separate report.
By the way, I heard that one of the subjects should be monitored closely.
Subject number 14M, RFT04. His name is Chang Hyun-woo. He is 17. We observed vital force in the subject 2 months ago. He has a unique condition due to his past traumas and young age. We figured that we could get meaningful data from that subject.
17. Okay. Well, sorry for keeping you late.
It was a pleasure. I will go back to work then.
Restricted areas, memory erasure, a state-of-the-art defense system. These were all implemented in the second set of experiments, obviously designed to strip any agency that the test subjects had left. The existence of such control systems was vital in avoiding the reoccurrence of incidents like I witnessed. On the day of the incident, I was working on a routine report in the research center. I was absorbed by my work when I heard a pounding on the door, as if someone was trying to break it down. Concerned with the disturbance, I opened the door in a hurry. On the other side stood a test subject, smiling at me, covered in blood. I know I should have ran, but I was absolutely paralyzed in fear. I awaited my death, frozen in place, when I heard a gunshot. The test subject collapsed in front of me. Mr. Meiji saved my life. Despite suffering a severe eye injury, Mr. Meiji tried to save all of the other researchers. A lot of my coworkers, however, tragically died that day. Test subjects, driven to insanity from the experiment, came to slaughter everyone in their sight. After the incident, control over the test subjects became priority. The security system in the research center was reinforced. I learned later that, on the day of the incident, an emergency exit had been opened. All of the doors in the research center are locked and double-checked before an experiment begins. Slight mistakes snowball to huge disasters. All researchers must be extra careful and pay attention to details.